Hi everyone, welcome back to A-Level Statistics. So today we are going to be looking at examples to help us learn and identify and understand the different terms and terminologies we have learned so far. So for the first example, I would like you to read the following passage and identify from an example for each of the following from this passage. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a few seconds, after which I will I'll start going through the results. So if you would like to have a go at it by yourself, feel free to pause the video now. Alright, so in this passage, the population mentioned in the passage will relate to the division matches in 1999 to 19 to 20 to 2000, and either the results, the total number of goals scored, or the amount of time played before a goal is scored, and that would represent the population. So for a sample, the total number of goals scored in each match played on the first Saturday of the season. That could be a sample because we are not taking all of the data, we are only taking a small chunk of it, and we're going to use that to represent the entire population for maths. All right. So the next one, a parameter. So a parameter could be the mean number of goals scored per match in the 1999 to 2000 season. All right. And another example could be part D, a statistic. So the mean number of goals scored per match on the first Saturday of the season. So that would be a statistic because you're getting the information from your sample, right? It's not a parameter for your population. It's a yep, so you get what I'm trying to say, right? So the next thing is a qualitative variable. So for a qualitative variable, it could be just the result of the match, right? Because you have home, or you can have an away, or you can have a draw. All right. The next one is a discrete variable. So a discrete variable could be, say, for example, the number of goals scored in each match. It would be a discrete variable because you can only have a set number of values. So you can have like 1, 2, 3. You can't have 0, 0.0, 0, 0.001, 0, 0.002, or something like that. You can only have set values, right? And then for G, a continuous variable. So this would be the amount of time played before a goal is scored, because time is continuous, right? So the clock is always ticking. You can't be like you can't you have a continuous clock. All right. The next one, the primary data. So the data is the data the journalist collected in 1999 and 2020,000 season. I mean 2000 season. That's the primary data because the journalist has collected it himself. And secondary data would be the mean number of goals because he had gotten it from and from the previous season. So it's not his data, right? It could be his data, but it probably is not his data. All right, we'll go through another example question just to help us get a better idea of this. So read the following passage on the paragraph, and then we'll start going through it, all right? Have a go at it yourself if you want to. I do recommend you really have a go because we already been through an example, so you should have an idea of what it is. And we'll go through results in a second, all right? I'm going to give you 3 seconds to pause the video, and then I will start going through results, answers. All right, okay. So in this paragraph, we need to identify two qualitative variables first. So the two qualitative variables are variables more, which do not have mathematical values. And so for me, those would be the place of birth and sex. Those are two qualitative variables because they're not numbers, right? And continuous variables could be something like age, height, and weight, all right? Or it could also, yeah, that's it. And then, so for C, oops, so we need one discrete quantitative variable. So one which we can measure with numbers, and it is Um, it is a numerical data and it's discrete, so it's like shoe size, all right? So this could be something like the number of pupils weighed. So how many pupils did they weigh to collect the data? All right, and so for the next one, D, we need secondary data. And secondary data could be the data collected in the medical examination records. All right, and E, primary data. That's the data collected by the class. So the data that is collected in the class, right? That would be the primary data. F, the population. So the population would be the weight of all the second year students, all right? And G would be the weight of those second year students, pupils who were weighed. And the statistic would be the mean weight of the sample of the pupils, right? So a statistic essentially is from the sample and parameters are for the population, all right? So that brings us an end to this video. I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye bye.